To order for the first regular council meeting, Emmett City Council meeting of January, it being January the 12th. A roll call has been taken. We do have a quorum. And at this time, we will have the Pledge of Allegiance, and that will be followed by the community invocation with Pastor Orr. So please stand and face the flag, wherever your flag is. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pastor.
Would you please join me in prayer? Our gracious God, as we gather tonight to conduct the business of the city, we ask for your presence and your guidance. 2021 is a new year with a new set of challenges, and we pray that you would grant wisdom and direction to our elected officials as they seek to make decisions that are in the best interests of all in our community. Let them govern justly, impartially, and with courage of conviction. May our conversation be clear and direct and gracious with the aim of moving forward the agenda before them tonight. We pray for a spirit of civility and collegiality between all participants in the meeting, and that the decisions made would reflect a genuine concern for the people of Emmett. We pray that any citizens who take part in this meeting will do so with the utmost respect for those office holders who have been elected to lead our city. Lord, we pray for your divine protection of our community from the COVID-19 virus that has taken such a toll on so many. We ask especially that you protect our first responders and medical care workers who are routinely exposed to this virus. Keep them safe as they serve our community. Please be with us now and help us as we begin a new year. We ask and pray these things for Jesus' sake. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you.
All right, council, at this time, the next item is the approval of the agenda. If you will note, it says amended agenda, and it was amended yesterday because it was discovered that we did not have the action item listed for the appointment of Lisa Becker, who is here. And this is a good faith amendment because it was not detected and it needs to be done, and there's really no reason not to do that. It's a decision that is an easy one and ought not to cause any controversy. So at this time, the chair will entertain a motion to approve the amended agenda as sent out.
Mayor?
Yes, it's Councilor Rezinkin.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept the amended agenda as presented.
All right. And is there a second?
Second, Councilman Henderson.
All right. Councilor Henderson has seconded the motion, the main motion having been made by Councilor Rezinkin to approve the amended agenda as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Hearing none. Are there any abstentions? Chair rule, the motion passes unanimously. Item number 5, are there any declarations of conflicts of interest? We do have some bartender permits that are listed there on the agenda, and hopefully you're not related within the first or second degree of affinity or consanguinity, so you can vote. Hearing none. Any declarations of council members discussing any matter outside the open meeting, inadvertently or otherwise? Hearing none. The next matter I'd like to bring up, and it's going to be a little more brief than perhaps originally. Is your wife working tonight?
No,
She's not. As you know, in December, we had a number of law enforcement folks that were recognized for an incredible job that they did at one of our local medical clinics when there was an individual who was having some issues and made what was perceived as a threat. And throughout all of that, it became apparent to me, kind of after the fact, after the agenda had been approved, but based upon a close discussion with three of the civilians that we honored, that Lieutenant Rosenkin, Lisa Rosenkin, did an incredible job of coordination. Anyone, and I know every first responder understands that the dispatcher at any one time has no less than 2 or 3 balls in the air when things get going. And she did that, and she did a great job. So I wanted to recognize her and the dispatch center for the great job that they have done throughout the, I think, going on 30 years that she's been affiliated with the dispatch center. And so I did a little thing in the Gazette, and she she sent me an email, and she says, "Well, thank you very much for that, but I'm not going to show up to receive the award because I was just doing my job," which was the point of my article in the Gazette. So I talked her husband, Counselor Rosenkin, to my left. Maybe you're right on the screen, I'm not sure. I talked him into taking this home tour, but I just wanted you to know, I'll just say a few things here. It said, thanks to Lieutenant Rosenkin's 3-decade career at the Gem County Dispatch, she acquired the leadership training and skills to handle the situation on 11/11/2020, and has also developed the ability to pass on those skills to other dispatchers. Lieutenant Lisa Rosenkin reflects great credit upon herself, her department, her family, and the greater Gem community. So I think it's appropriate that after 30 years, she should be recognized for doing an outstanding job. So, Gary?
I think she should get a better award for being married to me for 39 years.
She should. She should, but we can't award anything for that. That's her burden.
Yes, indeed.
All right. The next matter is the appointment of Lisa Becker to the library board. And this actually takes the action of the council must approve. This, Lisa is here, so go ahead and bring her on down, Alice. And Alice made the recommendation to the library board, and the library board says, yes, she's the one, correct? Or something like that?
The board, basically, they kind of send feelers out
Yeah.
and look for an individual that uses the library
Sure.
and is involved with the library to a certain extent, and then we go from there.
All right. So at this time, the chair will entertain a motion to appoint Lisa Becker to the library board. And it is, she's a 5-year term, right?
Yes.
Yes, a 5-year term, which we'll say begins tonight. Normally, it's on the 1st of January, but this is so close. What does it say tonight?
Sure.
Mayor?
Is that Counselor Henderson?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion that we appoint Lisa Becker to the library board,
All right.
with her term starting tonight.
All right.
Councilman Welch will second.
All right, and Counselor Welch has seconded the main motion. So, I'll just go ahead and take a voice vote on that. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay? Hearing none, are there any abstentions? Hearing none, Chair declares it's unanimous, so at this time, with your permission, I'm going to swear in Lisa Becker to the board. All right. Was there anyone else here that was going to? No, okay. So I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Lisa Becker,
I, Lisa Becker,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United
the
States,
state of Idaho,
the state of Idaho,
and the laws and ordinances of the city of Emmett,
and the laws and ordinances of the city of Emmett,
and that I will,
and that I will,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
faithfully perform
faithfully perform
all the duties
all the duties
of a member of the Emmett Library Board of Directors.
of the Emmett Library Board of Directors
As a member?
as a member.
Okay, good. During my continuance therein, during
During my continuance therein,
for the 5-year term,
for the 5-year term,
beginning January 12th,
beginning January 12th,
2021.
2021.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
You are in. Please sign this. This is your copy, and I will send you yours, if that's okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
And congratulations. Do you have anything to
Thank
say
you.
to the rest of the crew?
I just thank you guys. I appreciate it. I'm very honored and humbled.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, going on, City Council have anything, announcements for the good of the order? The next matter then is the consent agenda. I need to tell you that there were 3 items that were inadvertently not put on the list for expenditures that you received in writing later, or I should say earlier this afternoon. One is to Level 3 Communications in the amount of $789. The other is CenturyLink for our internet bill in the amount of $1,100. And then Rocky Mountain True Value, several of the departments participate in the amount of $812.13. Now, normally this would be no big deal, and we just go to the next iteration, but in at least 2, if not 3 of these, there will be extra fees assessed if we don't get these paid. So they're all well under any significant amounts, and they're all kind of the regular bills that we see almost every council meeting. So with that oral addition, the chair will entertain a motion to, and I should state that Mr. Rosenkin and Mr. Rosenkin more importantly, took a look at them and approved them, and I counter-initialed. So with those additions, the chair will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda with regard to item A, the approval of the minutes of 15 December 2020, the approval of the accounts payable with the 3 additions mentioned, and the approval of the bartender permits. Zachary Aruda, Daniel Butcher, Greg Butcher, David Frisbee, Francis Frisbee, Helen Frisbee, Terry Caney, Stacy Schoenfelder, and Heidi Smith.
Mayor?
Mayor,
Was that?
President Nebeker.
Okay, President Nebeker.
Make a motion, we approve the consent agenda, including the 3 additional bills that you had spoke about.
All right. And was that Counselor
Second.
Henderson?
Councilman Henderson.
Second. All right, motion is
Yes.
made to approve the consent agenda, including the 3 expenditures mentioned orally. Any further discussion on that? Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 All right. Opposed, nay. Hearing none. Any abstentions? Chair rules that the motion passes unanimously. Did I hear a new counselor in there?
Yeah, Butler is on.
Oh, yes. So, Counselor Butler is now in the house. We have a full crew. I'm not aware of any discussion, information, or updates from staff at this time. So let's go to the non-consent agenda. The first item is the approval of ordinance O 2020-13. This is an ordinance of the City of Emmett, Idaho, amending a portion of section 963 of the city code by changing the interior lot side setback requirements from 7 feet to 5 feet, providing for an effective date. That may look kind of familiar to you, kind of a deja vu all over again, and there's an interesting story on why that is, and because the clerk is here to explain it to you, I'll let her explain it to you.
Thank you, Mayor. So in preparing for documentations for our audit coming up on February 3rd, I discovered that these two ordinances did not get published in the Messenger Index. So I did contact all parties involved in these ordinances, and we are still okay to actually approve them for tonight's meeting. So I'm asking for an approval of both the city ordinance, the O202013 and the O202014. These were the last two ordinances of the year, and with that being said, I do not want this to happen again in the future, so I have devised a process in our office so it does not reoccur.
Which is always good. Before we go any further, it just occurred to me, and I've got a question for our esteemed attorney. Mr. Sweeten, it occurs to me that since they were already approved, and the only issue was the lack of publication, would you agree that perhaps all we have to do is approve once again the publication of the ordinance, because a record has already been established that they were approved by the council?
No, it's a procedural thing in the code, so they just, I hate to say be reapproved, but you need to approve them again and go through the same process that we did before for each one.
All right.
It goes pretty specific.
All right. That being the case, then is there any discussion with regard, does the council require anything further from staff before I entertain a motion? Like from Mr. Sullivan, like, yeah, everything is okay and everything I told you back in December is the same. All right, hearing nothing, then the chair will entertain a motion to approve ordinance O 2020-13 and moving to dispense with the rule requiring ordinances to be read on 3 separate days and once in full, and that the ordinance be read simply once by title in accordance with the code.
Mayor, President Dempster,
Yes.
I make a motion we approve ordinance O 2020-13, dispense with the rules requiring the ordinance to be read in 3 times and for it to be read 1 time by title only, and the mayor to sign if needed.
All right.
Councilman Welch will second.
And Councilor Welch seconds the motion. Is there any discussion on that? That being the case, then I will take a roll call vote on the motion pending to approve ordinance O 2020-13, including dispensing with the rule requiring the ordinance to be read on 3 separate days and once in full, and that the ordinance be read once by title with mayor to sign. President Nebeker, how do you vote, yay or nay?
Yay.
Got a yay? Counselor Henderson?
Nay. No.
Counselor Rosinkin?
Yay.
Yay? Counselor Welch?
Yay.
Yay? Counselor Butler?
Yay.
Yay. And Counselor Sorensen?
Yay.
Yay. So it's 5 yays, 1 nay. It was Counselor Henderson. The motion passes. Madam Clerk, if you would read the title.
City Ordinance Number O-2020-13, an ordinance of the City of Emmett, Idaho, amending a portion of Section 963 of the City Code by changing interior lot size setback requirements from 7 feet to 5 feet and providing for an effective date.
All right, thank you. Well, it's been approved, and now we've got to get it published, so the chair will entertain a motion to accept the first and only reading of ordinance O 2020-13, directing the mayor to sign and to direct that it be published by, and does that have to be in full,
Or something.
Brian?
Summary.
It can be summary, all right. In summary,
Mayor,
yes.
I make a motion that we accept the first and only reading of the ordinance 0-2020-13 and the direct of the mayor to sign and direct that we publish it by summary only.
All right. The main motion has been made by Councilor Rosinkin to accept the first and only reading of ordinance O 2020-13, and directing the mayor to sign and directing to be published by summary only. Is there a second?
Mayor,
Yes.
this is Counselor Sorensen, and I second that.
All
Councilman
right.
Welch will second.
I'm sorry, were there 2 seconds? I'll give it to Councilor Sorensen, that's the first I heard. So, the motion to accept the first and only reading of the ordinance, mayor to sign, directing it to be published by summary is now pending. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, calling for the question. All those in favor of the, oh, excuse me, I do a roll call on this one too. President Nebeker, yay or nay?
Yay.
Yay?
Yay.
Councilor Henderson?
Nay. No.
Councilor Rosinkin?
Yay.
Yay. Councilor Welch?
Yay.
Yay. Councilor Butler?
Yay.
Yay. And Councilor Sorensen?
Yay.
Yay. All right, 5 yays, 1 nay. That would be Councilor Henderson, consistent with her previous nay vote. So, both motions pass. Going on to item B, approval of ordinance O 2020-14. This is an ordinance annexing to the city of Emmett, Idaho, certain real property located in the unincorporated area of Gem County, Idaho, and contiguous to the corporate limits of the city of Emmett, Idaho, establishing the zoning classifications of said real estate, directing that copies of the ordinance be filed as provided by law, and providing an effective date. I presume the mayor to sign as well. So, that being the case, Madam Clerk, do you have anything further on this one?
I do not.
You do not, all right. Chair will entertain a motion with regard to the approval of the ordinance.
Mayor, President Nebeker,
Yes, President.
I make a motion that we approve ordinance O 2020-14, dismiss with the rules requiring the ordinance to be read on 3 times, if it would be read once by title only, and for the mayor to sign.
All right. The motion has been made by President Nebaker to approve the ordinance O 2020-14 as he indicated. And the second has been made, as I understand it, by Councilor Rosinkin. Is there any discussion with regard to the motion pending? Hearing none, calling for the vote. President Nebaker, yea or nay?
Yay.
Yea. Councilor Henderson?
Yay.
Yay. Councilor Rosinkin?
Yay.
Yay. Councilor Welch?
Yay.
Councilor Butler?
Yay.
Yay. And Councilor Sorensen?
Yay.
I've got 6 yeas, that makes it unanimous. Madam Clerk?
Ordinance number O-2020-14, an ordinance annexing to the city of Emmett, Idaho, certain real property located in the unincorporated area of Gem County, Idaho, and contiguous to the corporate limits of the city of Emmett, Idaho, establishing the zoning classifications of said real property, directing that copies of this ordinance be filed as provided by law, and providing an effective date.
All right. Thank you. Next matter, of course, is to get it published. The chair will entertain a motion to accept the first and only reading of ordinance O 2020-14, directing the mayor to sign, and then directing that it be published by summary.
Mayor,
Yes.
I move that we accept the first and only reading of ordinance 0/2020.
Oh, it's O. It's O.
Oh, excuse me, O 2020-14, and direct the mayor to sign and direct it to be published by summary only.
All right. Main motion has been made by Councilor Rosinkin to approve the ordinance in our typical formula of accepting the first and only reading, directing the mayor to sign, and directing that be published by summary only. Is there a second?
Second, Councilman Henderson.
Councilor Henderson seconds it. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Taking the roll call vote. President Nebaker?
Yay.
Yay. Councilor Henderson?
Yay.
Yay. Councilor Rosinkin?
Yay.
Yay. Councilor Welch?
Yay.
Yay. Councilor Butler?
Yay.
Yay. And Councilor Sorensen?
Yay.
That's a yay, 6 yays. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next matter is another ordinance, ordinance O 2021-01, so the first of the year. This has to do with amending the zoning classification for certain real property in Emmett from C commercial, from R1 single, family residential, and providing an effective date. So, Mr. Sullivan, you have the floor.
Good evening, Council and Mayor. I'm looking for the same motions as you just previously did. This was the ordinance we approved in December for 1420 Judo Lane to rezone that property from residential to commercial.
Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Sullivan? And I presume everyone's familiar with exactly the property that is in question, correct?
Yes, they reviewed it in December
Right,
and approved it then.
right. Okay. Chair will entertain a motion to approve ordinance O 2021-01 in the same formula that we've used throughout and previously this evening.
Mayor, President Nebaker,
Yes, President Nebaker.
I make a motion we approve ordinance O 2021-01, dismiss the rules requiring the ordinance to be read on 3 separate times, or to be read once by title only and the mayor to sign.
All right. And I presume when you say 2021, you meant the ordinance amending the zoning classification for certain real property in the city of Emmett, Idaho to C, commercial from R1 single family residential, and providing an effective date. Just so
That
I
is
could get- Just so I could get that into the record.
Yes, that's correct.
Councilman Butler will second it.
All right. Counselor Butler has seconded the motion, the main motion having been made by President Nebaker. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none. President Nebaker, yea or nay?
Yay.
Counselor Henderson?
Yay.
Yay, I've got 2 yays. Counselor Rosinkin?
Yay.
Yay. Counselor Welch?
Yay.
Yay. Counselor Butler?
Yay.
Yay, and Counselor Sorensen?
Yay.
6 yays. That's unanimous. Motion passes. Madam Clerk?
I can read
Oh,
it.
Brian will do it for you.
Yeah, I can handle it. Ordinance number 2021-01. An ordinance amending the zoning classification for certain real property in the city of Emmett, Idaho to C, commercial from R1, single family residential, and providing an effective date.
All right, thank you. That being the case, we of course need to publish this. So the chair will entertain a motion to accept the first and only reading of ordinance O 2021-01, directing the mayor to sign and directing it to be published by summary.
Correct.
Mayor,
Yes,
I make a motion that we accept the first and only reading of ordinance 2021-001.
you meant O 2021-01?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, okay.
Did I say that?
What?
Did I say zero?
I heard 0,
I
but
might have said 0 again.
Well, I was just repeating you.
I know. And I was repeating you from earlier, so.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, at least we're all in sync.
yes.
Direct the mayor to sign, direct that to be published by summary only.
All right. Motion has been made by Counselor Rosinkin. Is there a second?
Second, Councilman Henderson.
All right. So, main motion by Counselor Rosinkin. The second was made by Counselor Henderson. Is there any further discussion with regard to the publication issue? The motion, of course, is to accept the first and only reading of ordinance O 2021-01, directing the mayor to sign and directing it to be published by summary only. Hearing no discussion or questions, President Nebaker?
Yay.
Yay. Counselor Henderson?
Yay.
Yay. Counselor Rosinkin?
Yay.
Yay. Counselor Welch?
Yay.
Yay. Counselor Butler?
Yay.
Yay. And Counselor Sorensen?
Yay.
Yay. So the yeas have it unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next matter is item D, approval of payment to Tech Hut Cares Emmett in the amount of $237,606.09. It's an awful lot of money. Mr. Knittel?
Council, this is the final payment for the fiber optic broadband project that we got the grant money for. I'm happy to say that we have received all of the monies back from all of the different grants for all these projects. So this is the final payment, and the invoice number on it is labeled as CARES Emmett. So I'm just looking for a motion to approve that and get that paid.
Are there any questions?
Mayor, Councilor Henderson,
Yes.
I was just gonna make a motion.
Oh, okay. Counselor Henderson will make the motion.
Okay, I make a motion, we approve payment to Tech Hut Cares Emmett in the amount of $237,606.09.
All right.
Councilman Welch will second.
And does the mayor need to sign?
No, we're just paying. And was that Counselor Welch that seconded?
Okay.
Yes, it was.
Thank you. Second has been made by Counselor Welch to approve the payment to Tech Hut. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion to approve the payment to Tech Hut Cares Emmett in the amount of $237,606.09.
237.
What did I say?
said
Whatever it was.
227.
Look, Lincoln is here,
It's fine.
and he's confusing me. $237,606.09. Please indicate by saying aye.
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 Any abstentions? Any nays? Ayes have it unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you, council.
Mr. Siemens.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. So tonight is the Huber screen that we have been working on and developing over the past year and a half. So tonight I'm asking for a motion to approve the payment to Huber Technology, Inc. in the amount of $160,650. And this was approved on the 24th of March.
Going ahead with the screen.
Going ahead with the
amount.
screen, correct.
All right. Chair will entertain a motion to approve the payment to Huber Technology, Inc. in the amount of $160,650.
Mayor, Councilor Henderson,
Okay, Councilor Henderson.
I make a motion to approve payment to Huber Technology, Inc. in the amount of $160,650.
All right. Main motion has been made. It's been seconded by Councilor Rosinkin. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any nays? Any abstentions? Hearing none on both counts, Chair rules, motion passes unanimously. Item F, approval of lowest bid to TC Sales and Service in the amount of $27,560. Mr. Siemens.
Mayor, Council, what this is a pump that we have out at our wastewater treatment plant. We've been phasing out our old pumps from when this was built and putting in these new Vaughn chopper pumps. So this was bid correctly, got 3 bids, and what I'm asking for tonight is approval to move forward with the low bid to TC Sales and Service in the amount of $27,560.
Okay, are there any questions?
Yes, sir.
Was there any difference in warranty on them? Are they all the same?
No, because they're all the Vaughns, so we bid all Vaughns just by different
I got it.
reps that rep them out. So we didn't want a different pump, we just needed to make sure that we got it from the cheapest supplier we could.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Any other questions? Hearing none, Chair will entertain a motion for the approval.
Mayor?
Mayor, Councilor Henderson,
I think Councilor Welch was first, but I'm anticipating you can be the second. Councilor Welch, did you have a motion?
Okay.
No, it was Councilman Sorensen.
Oh, Sorensen, I'm sorry. Whoever it is. Do you have a motion?
I make a motion that we approve to pay, where is it, the lowest bid to TC Sales and Service in the amount of $27,560.
All right. Councilor Sorensen has made the motion. Is there a second?
second, Councilman Henderson.
Councilor Henderson seconds the motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Those in favor to approve the lowest bid to TC Sales and Service in the amount of $27,560, please signify by saying aye.
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 Okay. Any nays? Hearing none. Any abstentions? Hearing none, chair rules. Motion passes unanimously. Finally, approval to go to public hearing to propose a new water and wastewater connection fee.
So Mayor, Council, Mr. Cornetto will put a couple of comparisons up on the board real quick. What this is, just to kind of give you the short story, is this is our connection fees. As you know, cities have these, and cities have these, and the reason they have them is when somebody moves to a city, builds a house, they're charged a fee to connect to the sewer and the water. And what those fees do, and I know most of you know, but I'm just going to reiterate this so that those of you who may not know are clear on it. Those fees go to improvements. We have existing system that have to be upgraded, and the objective that we always have is to raise our fees or make sure our fees are going to cover most of that, so that what we don't have to do is raise rates and affect our existing residents in their rate, when really the people that are coming in are the ones that are putting the pressure on that existing system. And so if I get this pulled up real quick to make sure that everybody's looking at the same thing. The wastewater, after review of all of our improvements and assets that would need to be replaced, actually was proposed to go down $155.
Which one do you want?
If you actually pull up the wastewater first. And in this PDF, what you'll see is just some comparatives from different cities that we have surrounding us. For instance, on the wastewater treatment plant, or wastewater system, sorry, you know, our fees obviously going down $155, but comparative to like a CUNA, a Middleton, Eagle, you know, we're a little lower, but comparative to others, we base this on what we have, what our assets look like, and how we can maintain them without taxing the existing people. So that's a benefit, to be able to consider dropping that connection fee. So does anybody have any questions on that? If you want to look that chart over real fast and ask questions, you're more than welcome.
So your recommendation is to drop it by $155?
That's my recommendation based on our assets and improvements that will need to be made for our look forward.
No one's asking any
Okay, okay, so no questions. So if we move over to the water system, we'll get to that real fast. So on the water, it's a little bit different story. This is mostly based on, you know, our assets, the cost of equipment that we're starting to see in our industry, supply and demand, all those things. So, you know, as these things go up, and once again, when you look at the comparative from 2018, you see that a few of these company, you know, or cities have moved from, like Middleton went from 300 or 3,405 in 2018, and they raised their fee almost $6,000. I'm sure they've got to do some water purification and a few things that they see coming down their pipe. Well, we're in the same boat. We have a water treatment plant, but we have plenty of facilities that will need to be upgraded. So this actually would be proposed to jump tremendously up to $1,868. But once again, these are numbers that are based on our operations of the system and what that looks like, so that we can stay ahead of any failures and not tax our existing people. So is there any questions on that water side?
Mayor, President Nepker?
Yes.
So Clint, if I understand this correctly though, whenever they hook up a water hookup fee, there's also going to have a sewer hookup fee. So some of this additional cost on the water will be helped because of the reduction in the sewer. Is that correct?
That's correct. Your existing connection with the sewer water right at this point, President Nebaker, is $7,180. When a new resident comes in, if this would be approved, the new would be $8,893. So, I mean, there is a slight, obviously you have a deduction in the sewer, but, these are all numbers based on what we have. And so even though it goes up, we're trying to look at, obviously, doing our best to mitigate where, not just raising rates or raising connections based on wanting to raise them, it's based on needing to raise them.
Well, to me, it looks very fair what you're doing. You're reducing one because that's what's necessary, but you're increasing one because it's necessary too. So it's a good job on that one.
Thank you.
Okay, so you're simply asking for approval to go to a public hearing then?
That is correct. So obviously, this is, I wouldn't necessarily need to take the sewer to public hearing because it's not an increase, but I would need to take the water, and obviously I just wanted to make sure everybody understood and was on board so that they know where we're heading. So the motion tonight would be to take this to the public hearing to get an approval either way, or deny.
Yes.
What if down the road, we see that the project needs a lift station to implement the actual flow? Is that gonna be included in with the reduction? Or how would we say, look, now that we've got this problem, how would we rectify it with building, who's paying for the lift station?
Well, so Councilman Rosinkin, no, and it's a fair question, but, it would depend whether it's based on development, and if we had to do something with development and it didn't make sense to us to install it, it was based on something that was going to take place on a development side, then we would have the developer pay for it. If it made more sense for us to do it, and we've just entered into this on a booster station, very similar, we know that we're going to get much more money back, and so we would make sure this number, based on our growth and what that looks like, and of course our economy, and maybe in a year, the supply and demand goes down. Maybe housing slows down and that supply demand on all these parts and our infrastructure changes. We would want to be good stewards and come back to you and say, hey, this needs to either come back up more or it needs to come down. And I hope that answers that question, but it just depends on who would be responsible for paying for it, making sure that we're not asking anybody to pay more than what we have to have to function.
Thank you.
Okay, so it's not to be fuzzy, you just want to go to public hearing on the water connection fee, is that correct?
That is correct. That would be the only fee that would be being raised.
Chair will entertain a motion.
Mayor, President Nebaker.
Mayor, Councilman Henderson.
Well, I'll go to President Nebaker first, and then I'll go to you, Councilor Henderson.
President Nebaker, I make a motion to go to a public hearing for proposed new water connection fees.
All right. Councilor Henderson, do you have a second?
Second.
All right. Main motion has been made by President Nebaker to approve or to go to a public hearing to propose the new water connection fee, and the second was made by Councilor Henderson. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any nays? Objecting to the motion? Hearing none. Any abstentions? Hearing none, chair rules. Motion passes unanimously. At this point, it's time for the department activity report, so I'm going to ask the department heads to line up in order, and we'll start out with Mr. Sullivan.
Good evening, Mayor and Council again. My report will be in next week's, or in 2 weeks' packet. Are there any questions for me?
There are none. Thank you. Madam Clerk.
Thank you.
Any questions? Thanks.
Hearing none. Chief Christensen.
Are there any questions?
Hearing none.
Thank you.
Alice Kelly?
Mayor and council, any questions for me this evening?
Hearing none.
Thank you.
Chief Kunkka?
Mayor and council, do you have any questions for the Emmett Police Department?
Hearing none. Mr. Siemens?
Mayor, council, any questions for Public Works?
Hearing none.
Thank you.
Mr. Knittel?
Council, again, thanks for being patient with us as we invoke this new technology, but do you have any questions for us?
I'd just like to compliment you on it's doing fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We apparently have no engineers, so the chair will entertain a motion for adjournment.
Mayor,
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn.
Okay. Motion has been made by Councilor Rosenkin. Is there a second?
I'll second, Councilman Welch.
Councilor Henderson?
Okay, Councilor Henderson is seconded the motion. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Hearing none. Chair rules. Passes unanimously.